Vidya catches Tanya's plot against Abhira and throws her out of the house. Krish stops her. Watch full episode. The tension at Potdar House was palpable. The once happy home, bustling with laughter in preparation for a family outing, now felt like a battlefield. Everything had begun to unravel, with Abhira's name being dragged into a scandal, and it all spiraled out of control when Tanya accidentally became the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. It all started outside the Potdar House, where the media had gathered, cameras rolling and microphones ready, hungry for drama. A careless moment, a paper tossed toward Abhira with the words, "If it's your mistake, apologize," set off a chain reaction that nobody could have predicted. The words seemed harmless on paper, but the consequences were explosive. Everyone froze as the fiery note reached Abhira, igniting tension that threatened to engulf the entire family. Arman, ever the protector of his family, immediately stepped forward. "Abhira, you need to apologize," he urged calmly, though his eyes betrayed the anxiety bubbling beneath. Abhira's pride, however, refused to bend. She shook her head, her jaw tight. "No, I won't," she said firmly, her voice a mixture of defiance and fear. The family watched helplessly, their worry growing as Arman realized that the situation was getting out of hand. Trying to defuse the chaos, Arman decided that going to the police might be the only way to protect everyone. He grabbed his coat, signaling his intention to leave. But Abhira, stubborn as ever, insisted on coming along. "I'm going with you. I won't let you face this alone," she said, her voice unwavering. Arman sighed, torn between his instinct to protect the family and the determination he saw in Abhira's eyes. Meanwhile, Tanya was silently working behind the scenes, her mind racing. She had secretly joined Varun's team, investing her own money and taking calculated risks to see tangible results. Her efforts paid off when she received a significant profit from the venture. "Thanks, Varun," she said quietly, relief evident in her tone. But Varun, with a calm and calculating smile, reminded her, "I know what I'm doing, Tanya. This isn't luck, it's strategy." Curious, Tanya asked, "How do you make videos go viral? How does this work?" Varun leaned over his laptop, a glint of mischief in his eyes. "We use AI to create content," he explained, showing her the intricate software that produced the videos. Tanya leaned closer, intrigued yet confused. Then, suddenly, she recognized the voice in one of the videos. It wasn't just any AI-generated clip. It was a perfect imitation of Abhira and Arman. Her stomach dropped. The realization hit her like a thunderbolt. Someone had used AI to create fake videos to frame them. Tanya's knees weakened. She barely made it back home, her mind racing with fear and suspicion. By the time she returned to Potdar House, she was consumed by a single thought. Whoever had orchestrated this scheme was dangerous, and she had inadvertently stepped into their trap. She kept her discovery to herself, not knowing who she could trust. The fear gnawed at her relentlessly. What if she too became a victim of this manipulation? The household tried to focus on happier matters, planning a family picnic, laughter echoing through the rooms. But just as everyone was lost in excitement, the TV flickered on, showing Tanya's video trending across social media. The clip revealed Abhira in a negative light. Her private conflicts splashed across screens for the world to see. The family watched in stunned silence. Daddy Sato, ever stern and principled, scolded Tanya immediately. "What have you done? How could you humiliate your family like this?" The tension reached a boiling point when Abhira demanded an explanation from Tanya. "Why would you do this?" she asked, her voice trembling with a mix of hurt and anger. Tanya looked her straight in the eyes and said, "Because I hate you." The words struck everyone like lightning. Vidya, overhearing the confrontation, had had enough. With a voice sharp and decisive, she turned to Tanya and said, "You're out. Leave this house." Tanya froze for a moment, the shock registering across her face. Before she could react, she felt the weight of the family's collective gaze, judgment heavy in the air. Krish, unable to contain his anger, jumped in, raising his voice as he tried to defend Tanya. "Wait, you're making a mistake," he shouted, trying to sway the family. but his words fell on deaf ears. Arman, ever observant and clever, saw through Krish's facade. Calmly but firmly, he revealed the truth in front of everyone. "Krish, this is what you've done in front of the media," he said, exposing the deceit that had been simmering under the surface. The room went silent. Krish's bold actions were finally laid bare, and he had no response, the weight of truth closing in on him. As the chaos unfolded, the atmosphere in Potdar House was electric. Fear, anger, betrayal, and helplessness collided in every corner. Tanya, now more cautious and aware of the dangerous games being played, realized that she needed to stay alert. She could no longer trust appearances, for even those closest to her might have hidden motives. And as the episode ended, the family was left grappling with questions that had no easy answers. How would they mend the trust broken by lies and manipulation? Would Abhira finally face the consequences of her actions? Or would the truth be twisted further by those with their own agendas? And what about Tanya? Could she navigate the treacherous waters of deception without losing herself in the process? The story at Potdar House was far from over. Each revelation seemed to only deepen the mysteries and tensions, promising a thrilling, emotional roller coaster in the upcoming episodes. Families, friendships, and alliances would be tested like never before, and viewers would be left on the edge of their seats, eagerly waiting for the next twist. The episode opens with a quiet moment in the Potdar House. Kaveri, sensing Abhira's restlessness, gently tells her to take some rest. But Abhira is troubled, her thoughts consumed by Mayra. "Kaveri, after what happened today, has everything changed forever? Will Mayra ever look at me the way she used to, with love, with respect?" she asks, her voice trembling with worry. Kaveri takes her hand and reassures her softly. "She's still a child, Abhira. Children forget quickly, but with time, she will learn to love you again, from the heart." Abhira sighs, feeling the sting of Mayra's anger. "Seeing her like that today, I felt like I didn't even know her," she admits. Kaveri gently reminds her, "She's growing up, Abhira. You'll have to adjust a little too." Their eyes meet, an unspoken understanding passing between them, and Abhira hugs Kaveri tightly. Despite Kaveri urging her to sleep, Abhira whispers, "I'll wait until Mayra opens her door. I want to see her first." Meanwhile, Mayra sleeps peacefully, oblivious to Abhira's silent vigil. Elsewhere, Abhir gathers the courage to share his feelings with Kiara. Kiara hesitates. Is it really necessary to say everything out loud? But Abhir insists, "I need clarity." In a quiet, heartfelt moment, Kiara confesses her love, her voice trembling with vulnerability. Abhir's face lights up, and he pulls her into a warm, comforting embrace. On the other side of town, Tanya meets with her friends and can't resist gossiping about the Potdar household. Abhira refuses to admit her mistakes, she says bitterly. "Because of her, we've all been suffering." Unbeknownst to Tanya, a journalist is secretly recording every word. Her friends nod in agreement, encouraging her. The reporter smiles slyly, knowing he has captured a sensational story. Back home, Manoj grows anxious. Kiara has not returned. He calls her, worried. Kiara, caught in a moment with Abhir, freezes, her heart racing as she realizes Manoj might see her with Abhir. She panics, trying to navigate her feelings while staying composed. Manoj, concerned about past mistakes repeating themselves, silently warns himself to stay vigilant. Meanwhile, Arman peers at Mayra's room through the window, anxiety etched across his face. The next morning, Kiara prepares to leave, only to hear the inner voice she can't ignore. Why leave without telling Abhir? At that very moment, Abhir wakes, confused by Kiara's absence, and contemplates how she has claimed a new space in his heart. He also wonders if Charu would approve of their closeness. Mayra wakes with a heavy heart, recalling how harshly she treated Abhira and Arman the night before. Guilt weighs on her as she searches for Abhira. Kiara, conflicted and scared, realizes she must face Abhir and speak honestly about her feelings. Just as Abhir arrives, Kiara slips away, leaving him in silent anticipation. Mayra finds Abhira and Arman sleeping outside, a pang of sorrow piercing her chest. When Abhira wakes and sees her leave, he feels a subtle ache of longing. Kehlata returns shortly after, questioning why they are sleeping outside. Abhira explains gently, "Arman slept here first. I didn't want to disturb him." Arman guides Abhira inside, creating a quiet, tender moment of care. Meanwhile, Manoj confronts Kiara, but she evades his probing questions, leaving him frustrated. He warns her to maintain distance from Abhir, clearly troubled by her feelings for him. Yet Kiara silently dismisses his caution. In a different corner of the city, Tanya gives Kajal a gift, revealing she invested in a social media startup that's bringing in good profits. Kajal congratulates her, and Tanya beams with satisfaction, feeling her success justified. Meanwhile, Arman presses Abhira's feet gently, and the two decide that Mayra needs professional help to manage her emotions. Kaveri, however, opposes the idea, insisting that heartfelt conversation can solve the problem, not therapists. Suddenly, chaos erupts outside the house. Someone is burning an effigy of Abhira. The family rushes to the scene, horrified. Arman receives a threatening letter warning that if Abhira doesn't apologize, she'll face consequences similar to the effigy. Abhira stops Arman from extinguishing the fire, insisting that the effigy is symbolic, like the video circulating online. Everyone reads the letter in disbelief, panic flashing in their eyes. Madhav's anger simmers. While Vidya questions why Abhira alone was targeted, Arman reflects on society's unfair burden on women to uphold family honor. Even Kaveri voices her frustration. Deciding to act, Arman prepares to go to the police station, and Abhira insists on accompanying him. He tells her to calm down first. But as they plan, the audio of Tanya gossiping reaches the family. Kaveri confronts Tanya, asking if she leaked the recording to the media. Tanya denies it, claiming she only spoke to friends privately. Kaveri, visibly furious, reminds Tanya that Arman and Abhira's private moments were not meant for public consumption. Vidya adds, "Tanya deliberately shared this." Tanya continues to deny, while Kajal defends her, suggesting if the fake video can be believed, Tanya's words should be too. Manoj warns Tanya, stressing that she should have been more careful, while Madhav criticizes her for taking out her frustrations on Abhira. Krish supports Tanya, arguing she is justified, but Arman sharply admonishes him. Abhira quiets everyone and urges Tanya to vent all her frustrations. She reassures Tanya that her anger is understandable, encouraging her to say everything without holding back. Tanya becomes emotional, yet a message arrives showing her profits, prompting her to leave, vowing to always resent Abhira. The family watches in stunned silence as she walks away. Later, Mayra approaches Krish's room to retrieve a trophy intended for her parents. Krish asks if she will give it to them. Now she hesitates, unsure of her feelings. Krish hands it to her, mentioning that Arman and Abhira have gone to the market. Mayra wonders if they are angry with her. Meanwhile, Abhira and Arman consult with the inspector about the threats and the effigy. Abhira emphasizes the negative impact the video is having on their child, Mayra. Arman urges immediate action, but the inspector admits they are struggling to trace the source. In another part of town, Tanya meets Varun and his friends. Curiosity gets the better of her, and she asks how he makes videos go viral. Varun explains casually that they use AI to create videos, showing her a simple example. Tanya is shocked, realizing there's no need to hire actors, and Varun offers to show her their latest masterpiece. The video plays, reviewing Abhira and Arman's moments, leaving Tanya utterly stunned. The episode closes on this intense cliffhanger, with the family grappling with fear, betrayal, and complex emotions, leaving viewers eagerly awaiting the next twist in the saga. One thing was clear in the world of Yeh Rishta Kya Kehlata Hai: no secret stays buried for long, and no heart remains untouched by betrayal. The upcoming episodes were set to uncover shocking truths, confront hidden agendas, and reveal the real faces behind smiles and pleasantries. So stay tuned, because Tanya, Abhira, Arman, and the entire Potdar family are about to face the storm of their lives, and every choice they make will carry consequences they could never have imagined.